Uh, my topic is acing the cards you're dealt with. So it's a metaphor for the game of cards. All right. When I was younger, me and my cousins and my sister, we used to play a lot of card games, and I used to always crib about like I did not get the good cards. So I don't want to play. I used to frown and I used to pout and I used to say like I don't want to play. And then my cousins used to tell me that, you cannot control the cards. You can only control the game. That's the only thing that is in your hand. And at that point of time, I used to think, it was essay, not a big deal. So I won't play cards ever again. But later on in life, when I started my 20s, I realized it was a metaphor for your life's journey as well. So uh, like we built a myth of perfect circumstances, just like we build a castle of cards, right? So when we build it, we keep on building it, and we just think that it shouldn't fall, it shouldn't fall apart. But that's not the case. And with perfect circumstances is the same thing. Like we dream that at the age of 21 we would have this degree, at the age of 23 we would have this job. And for me, for myself specifically, please don't judge me, I dreamed of being a divorce lawyer. All right. So I was very fascinated with this profession because my mom used to watch a lot of soap opera, and I used to see that these guys used to make a lot of money. So I always wanted that. I want to be a divorce lawyer. And later on in life, the divorce part went away and the lawyer part stayed. And with that aim, I pursued my further education. But uh, by the age of 17, I found myself in a very pickle situation because at that point of time, my father had a major accident, and it was just one day prior to my physics exams. So it was my class 12th, and just one day prior to that, he met with a major accident, and I was not able to focus. I thought I would be failing physics for good. So that went on. We struggled through that. My family, my mom, my sister, everybody, we struggled through that. And somehow I got through my boards. Okay, so I was not even expecting to get good grades. I just wanted to pass that phase of mine. I just wanted to pass my boards examination. So when the results came, I had scored like around 60, 61%, and we all of us were pretty okay with it. We were like, we had gone through some tough situations, and it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. So past that, post that, 10 days ahead of that, my father passed away, and that was the first time I got my bad hand at playing the card game of life. I was not prepared for it. I did not get to see him in person when this new news came to us, and none of us were prepared for it. We were not even aware what has happened. We just got the news. We just got done with all the formalities and everything, and thereon we started a new phase of our lives, and it was a constant struggle because you don't know, like you have lost an anchor in your life. My father was a huge anchor for me, my both of my parents, even my sister. uh, I lost that anchor. I was not able to navigate through. Those years were very tough for me. So I took a drop. Once I was done with my 12th, I took a drop, and I prepared for my flat examinations. Again, I did not get through. I gave few more examinations of law, did not get through. So at that point of time, I was suggested that I should take admission in Sunbeam Women's College Varuna. And initially, I was not ready for it, but I think that was one of the most amazing decisions of my life, because ahead of that, 3 years ahead of that, the person that you see today is all a product of Sunbeam Women's College Varuna. So I'm very grateful to my mentors, my board of directors, my teachers, my professors, even my colleagues. So that was a choice that I made. That was a choice that made me stay here in Varanasi, and that was a choice of choosing this life that I have right now, this personality that I have right now as a person. So initially, again in college, I was not as proactive. I was a dull kid. I'll be very honest, I was a dull kid. But my professors encouraged me. They kept on making me do small, small things that shaped my personality today. Like the smallest of things would be making me a part of the assembly, making me an anchor for some event, or just giving us the entire youth fest to handle. So that was the faith, the blind faith they had put in me, and I think I could have done more justice to it, but I think I did a decent job. So that was that. And again, here the element of community comes in. Your community is your power. Always try to be as connected to your people as possible, because you never know who can be a support system to you, who can be a guiding light to you. So be as connected as possible. So that is the element of community. So again, fast forward 3 years, uh, I was a part of Inactus in the college. I was a part of Intac. I was volunteering with Intac. Then I was a part of NSS. I was a part of Quill Club. And that, again, that is a major turning point in my journey, because that is where I found my passion for storytelling and writing, which has eventually shaped my current persona. So again, this was a faith that was put into me by our dear admin ma'am. She found me a best fit for that workshop, and she had sent me for that thing. So that was that. And again, once the college was over, again, I would like to mention one more thing, that I was also a part of the Students' Council. I was a part of the Students' Council for all 3 of my years. I had been the social work club secretary. I have been the vice head girl. I've been the head girl for my final year. So very much connected to the college. And there was one thing that my guardians would used to be very worried about. Like, she's trying to balance her co-curriculars and her studies, her academics all together. How is this going to work? Because one or the other thing is going to get affected. She can either be in the co-curriculars or she can be in the academics. You cannot carry two of them together. Never. Can't happen. So there was one incident where my sister had come to the college and she had requested my professors not to engage me in more uh, events. But I was like, no, this is my choice. I want to do this. I want to do this for myself as well as for my college. I want this because I want to take my college further. I want to enhance what we give as an experience to our students, to our community of students, and generally what Sunbeam is. So I took that challenge, and we did our youth fest in my final year. We were struck with COVID pandemic, so we did our youth fest online. Like, it was a big challenge because coordinating everything online is difficult. I would just say difficult. I cannot find another word right now, but it's just difficult. You cannot communicate as much as you would do in person. So we took that challenge, and it was a good success. It was a great success, actually. We had introduced a lot of new things that year. So great success that was, and I scored good marks in my final year exams as well. So win-win. And we just realized that, this is what we need. This is what we wanted, the element of courage. Unless and until you make up your mind, you feel that ये हो जाएगा, ये मैं कर लूँगा या मैं कर लूँगी, it won't happen. So that is where it starts. Like 50% of the situation is solved, where you realize you can do it. So again, once I was done with my college, with my bachelor's, I appeared for my exams of masters and law. Again, I did not get through law. but I got into masters. I pursued my masters thereon, and in the second semester of my first year, I lost my mother. So that was again reshuffling of the cards. Right when I was getting back on track, right when everything was falling together, falling in place, adversary happened. But we say it right, like आपदा को अवसर में बदलते हैं. You change adversity into opportunity. So I tried doing that. I was diagnosed with bipolar depression because of my mother's passing away. And I was struggling through that. My sister was there with me. She was struggling through that. So one day, like I was still on my medication of depression. I just thought, no, this is not how it is going to work. ये तो नहीं चल पाएगा. This attitude is not flowing. So we need to change. We need to stop this. We need to stop dependency. We need to be on our own. I need to be on my own. So I finished my masters, and by the time I had finished my masters, I had qualified NET. So that was my first attempt, and I qualified NET. So again, I was not expecting that, but I had worked for it. I know I had worked for it. So that happened, and then I got the courage to apply to projects, individual independent projects. And I got a call from Lady Shri Ram College of Women in Delhi, that is associated with Delhi University. I got a call from the principal, and she offered me to join her as a research associate. So I worked with her on that project of ICSSR. It was a sponsored project, and it was about destitute widow women. So I worked on that. That was a point where I felt, there's no stopping now. I can move ahead. I can take up more challenges, and I'm going to win at it. Because that is what I'm supposed to do. That is what is needed. That is a choice that I'm making, and I am doing that courageously. And my community is going to be supporting me. And I informed my professors here. I informed my family, I informed my peers, and they were very reluctant that how you're going to do it in Delhi. Delhi is, it's tough for people, tough for women specifically. It's not a safe space. I said, I'll manage, and I did that. I very successfully completed my project, and then I got into my first job. I worked as an assistant editor for an edtech organization, and when I was done with their contract, I joined CMS, where I'm working right now as a sub-editor. So basically, I'm an education journalist. So I realized one thing: until and unless I make an effort for it, it is not going to happen. There would be a lot of obstacles. There would be a lot of people who would be stopping you, not necessarily for malicious reasons, but only because they are concerned about you. So there would be a lot of obstruction in a good way or in a bad way. It is going to happen. But ultimately, it depends on what kind of choices you make, what you choose for yourself specifically. Forget about choosing for anybody else, what you choose for yourself specifically. So that is important. So thereon, I have ventured into a lot of things. I was associated with Piramal Foundation. I'm big on social work. So that's why I chose that project. I chose to work on that project. And I have worked with that. I have worked with Women for India. I'm associated with Child Rights in You. And I'm also associated with Project Gutenberg. So the point is that if you want yourself to be strong, you build your community. Nobody else is going to do that for you. You do it by yourself. Nobody is going to come to you to help you in that. Your community only comes to you when you reciprocate their efforts. So it's important to do that as well. So the idea of letting you know this entire story was that life is, again, a game of cards. You cannot control the game, you can only control your play. And another thing, that you will always not get an ace with you. You have to make it, or you have to be one. And you cannot crib about it, right? And another thing that I would like to mention is that, keep your poker face on. I hope you guys know what is a poker face. Even if you don't, I'll tell you that in a metaphorical way. Like when we say poker face, we mean that we do not let the other person know, okay, if our cards are good or bad. We do not let it show on our faces. So same is the case with life. You don't let the life know that you have a strategy in mind. You're going to get through this. What you're going to do, what is your next step, don't let it know. Just keep your calm. Whatever may come, keep your calm. And know to when to raise your stakes, when to take your risks. Because it is very essential that you need to understand your risk management. It is very important as a person who is in their 20s, and I'm assuming most of you are at least 18, 19, or 20 years old. So start early with your risk management strategies, because you would never know what may happen with you. I used to always say to myself, like, isse kya bura hoga? And life has always surprised me with a new incident to deal with. And that is it. Like, when again, one more thing, one very vital advice: learn to when you have to leave things as it is. You are not supposed to go after things all the time. Learn to know when to fold fast when you know the game is not yours. If you know this is not working out, leave it. Leave it as it is. You do not have to strive through it when you know there is no consequence to it. But if you know that there is 1% of chance of succeeding at that specific thing, take the risk. Raise your stakes. But know that you have to play the game. You can only control the game. You cannot control your cards. So that's all. Thank you.